All right, we are rocking and rolling in the day. Automotive News Retail Forum is kicked off. We had a great time earlier interviewing and listening to people. Paul and Michael got to listen to the very first set of interviews that were going on out at Automotive News Retail Forum, the live stages, the keynotes, and they've got some feedback for us. So we're going to throw it to Paul and throw it to Michael and see what they're doing out there.
All right. So we just got done the first half of the Automotive News Retail Forum. It was pretty awesome. We heard from two really amazing speakers and got to see the entire 40 over. Well, I don't think it was all 40 were here, but a lot of them were.
And under 40, right? No, you were about to say over 40.
40 over 40. I'm just positioning for a new award because I'm out. So the 40 under 40, they all came up. They walked across the stage. They talked about what they were doing. There was some applause, some smiles. A couple of awkward moments.
A couple awkward moments carrying that big. I mean, that's a big award.
Well, okay. So the reason you tune into Automotive State of the Union is because we tell you the story behind the story. And there were a couple of moments, right, where you get the award and you just don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
And so, but, you know, that doesn't really take away from the award. That's not why they won the award.
No, they still achieved what they achieved. They just didn't know where to go after.
Most times people can't. They've never received an award like this before. Enough of that. So what we did, we heard from two people who gave 30 minutes, about 30 minute each interviews. Damian Mills of the Mills Automotive Group and Erikka Wells, who you saw a little earlier.
Yeah.
And I leaned over to you and I said, you could cut 100 pieces of unique content from everything that was said in that keynote, and it wouldn't even be like you were trying.
Yeah, any place where you could position a period at the end of a sentence was something you could put on an Instagram quote. Yeah, it was a complete thought. She was nervous too, right? That she was talking about that in the live stream this morning. She's a little bit nervous. I mean, #toilet, I think, is what's trending right now. It is what she said, but she completely brought down the room. Everybody, there was at one point there were people going you go girl, they were just buying so deeply into her message. And so I think, a refreshing change of pace to hear the message that she's sharing, because it brings into view just a much broader understanding of what it actually takes to succeed in automotive.
One of the things that was really the common thread in both sessions was the fact that neither Damian nor Erikka were in the automotive industry, and they came into the automotive industry. Damian was just looking for a 3-month job.
Yeah.
And a GM pulled him in the office and said, hey, listen, we know this is just a temporary job for you. However, it's everyone else's livelihood. And he really mentored him. So the conversation of mentorship was really a thread through everything he said. And now I think he owns 19
rooftops. You know what, too? What came to my mind was the only other industry I've seen passion at that level from both Damian and Erikka is the network marketing industry. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a
really interesting.
She said something that I'd like to just point out. She said, why would I not want to talk to everybody about how transformative working in this industry can be? And the only other place I've heard that is an Amway convention.
You were at an Amway convention?
I was at an Amway convention. May or may not be a diamond. Doesn't matter. Long story. Whatever. This is going to get cut out afterwards.
But I do have this ring on still.
But I do have but just that idea of why would I be ashamed of this industry? That's kind of the thing that you get from a lot of network marketing companies. It's all about self-improvement and things of that nature. And I picked that up from her. She called out a spade, saying, why would I be ashamed of this? Why are you ashamed of this? This is something that's literally blessed all of our lives. I know automotive's blessed my life in more ways than I could ever imagine. So kudos to them for sharing that message.
The story that Erikka told about how her first experience in the automotive industry is an amazing story, where she was a single mom, struggling. Her car broke down, needed catalytic converter fix. Is that what it was?
Alternator.
Was it?
Yeah,
I was going to say, no wonder it was so expensive.
Gas pedal brakes.
It's probably worth a lot of money now. Gas pedal brakes, one on the right makes you go. And so she needed her alternator fixed, went to a service state. It wasn't a dealership, I don't think.
No, it was like a repair shop.
And found out how much it was going to be, said, I can't afford to fix that, but I work at this daycare, and I know a lot of these people will probably get their car fixed here if I tell them about it. So he said, okay. He's like, you give me business, I'll fix your alternator. He did that. A year or so later, hired her, to which she said, I went from making $6 an hour to $8 an hour, and then started working at a buy here, pay here, and then on and on and on. And now she is a sales manager of a very successful store, and in a room full of seasoned executives telling everybody how it should go, and they're taking notes and they're listening.
The way that she brought the whole diversity and inclusion piece into it was really fascinating as well, because she said, look, whether you buy into this concept of having a more diverse workforce or not, the data is the data, or the data. What do we say in America?
Kyle says data. I say data.
Okay, well, we'll say data since I'm standing next to you. The data is the data. When you look at the numbers, he has chosen wisely. Having a more diverse workplace. I can't remember the specific statistic. We'll have to reference it from your notes, but I think she said it was like 42% increase in profitability when you have a more diverse workplace, or something to that effect. And I think that's really interesting to key in on for those that perhaps have not yet understood the impact that something as human rooted as having a diverse workplace can have.
She did say, there's black and there's white, but everybody understands green, I believe was the statement.
Yes.
Right? Another one of those
Instagram
little
quote.
Let's do it. So there's a couple more things going on right now. This session for me just highlighted the fact that there is so much pent up potential in the automotive industry, and there's 1,000 more Damians and 1,000 more Erikkas that are just not getting a chance to actually develop. And that's why mentorship is so important. Damian talked about mentorship. He actually drilled really deep and credited mentorship for the reason of him being where he's at. And he says it takes intentionality. And he truly believes, like, I can't remember the stat again, but the majority of his new manager staff are all brand new to the industry, have all been mentored into the position. So I think walking away from that, you look at mentorship, you look at a diverse and inclusive workforce, and you look at very successful and profitable dealerships that people want to stay at and work for. And I don't think there's a single person in that room or in the automotive industry that would argue with the fact that unless you get the right people in the right seats that are motivated and willing to grow, you will never have a successful dealership in this environment that is changing faster than we can keep up with, it seems.
Yeah, the one thing that stood out as well to that point that Damian brought up is he didn't talk numbers. Did he even mention any? He didn't talk about numbers. He didn't talk about how to move more metal. He didn't talk about the accountability he puts on his team and all of the things that we tend to gravitate towards. He spoke about being a good person and helping others be a good person. And if you can just understand how simple that concept is, that's how things grow. Like that, to me, that is a mess. I mean, crossover event of the century, the dealer playbook and ASOTU. The reason why I think this works is because you had mentioned these 1,000 others. We're on a mission to find those 1,000 others. And I know you and Kyle are going to do a tremendous job sharing their stories and highlighting the change that is already existing in this industry, but just hasn't been given enough oxygen. And that's something that just really stood out to me from this group.
Well, you're part of that now. And whether we like it or not.
Here I am.
Do you say GIF or GIF?
GIF.
Like every other rational human being. So there we go. We're getting nods from the crew.
Yeah.
So on that note, we're going to flip it back to Kyle, who is a data guy. We'll convert him. No, we won't. But he does say GIF. So he's half and half. We're going to bring you more live streams. We're pumping out content on our social channels. So follow our social channels on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We have some really cool footage of us driving underground in one of Elon Musk's Teslas and a whole bunch of stuff. Follow the hashtag and use the hashtag ASOTU, ASOTU. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, if you're not on our email list, you need to be there. You can sign up at ASOTU.com and we'll give you the best automotive email you've ever gotten in your life. Once a day, Monday through Friday. Kyle, we're going to throw it back to you.
I get an unmute thing, but guys, thank you so much. That was really insightful. I love hearing about how people are connecting the people stories to the business stories. And I believe the energy around that is just going to continue in our industry. And not just that, but cool partnerships with guys like Michael Cirillo and continuing those conversations. Again, want to thank Scion Digital today for being our live stream sponsor. Again, follow us on social media at ASOTU on the majority of social media platforms. We're even on TikTok today, showing you those videos, the behind the scenes, what's going on throughout the day as Paul and Michael are moving throughout the Automotive News Retail Forum and the energy around Las Vegas, as well as sign up for the email, ASOTU.com, and we'll send you a fresh email, and we actually make it fun. So until then, absolutely thankful for you being in this industry, being part of pushing back and doing things that are challenging the way that we've always done them. We'll see you later tonight at the welcome party for NADA.